Commissioner, you've had a little tour around the museum here, and it's actually two parts in one. We're here on Heritage Street, which is fantastic. These buildings are awesome. What's your favorite part of the museum?
I think it's these homes. I love going into each one, and they have the furnishings and kitchen items, mannequins in the dress of a particular era that the homes were from. And I brought my mother here one time, and she just oohed and awed over things. Oh, I remember my grandmother had that in her house, and it's like a walk down memory lane. Very fun.
And as a longtime resident and former educator, I know it's important to show our kids our history, which isn't so ancient.
It's so true. I had children along when my mother came, and it was a real connection between generations to see that, so it was very fun.
You're telling me you're taking a look at the root cellar. Tell me a little bit about that place.
Yes, it's a new exhibit that will be opening soon. It was found when they were doing some work in the Wetlands Park, putting in a weir, erosion control, and it had been part of a ranch owned by the Bishop family in the 20s, and so they decided not to destroy it, so the Bureau of Reclamation paid the Water Authority to take it out and restore it, and they actually donated it to the museum. So it'll be a really fun exhibit. People will be able to go down some steps and look at the original rock and how it was constructed.
How do we get more people to discover what a gem this is out here, Commissioner?
I think we've had some help with the Pawn Stars show. With our administrator, Mark Hall-Patton, appears on that show at least once a week, giving his expertise to tell the worth of different artifacts. And so it's had a lot of exposure from that. In fact, in 2 years, the attendance has gone up 100%. Wow. So I think we need to continue to get the word out, advertising, and I try to do that very thing as I go out and about, because this truly is a treasure. It gives us the history of Clark County.
Nice, nice. Commissioner, I know one of our shows we did with you last year was out at Sunset Park. Sunset Park has never really closed, but portions of it has. But 75 of the 375 acres have been renovated, and it's going to be a brand new Sunset Park. That's exciting.
It will be. It's giving some urban ambiance and not disturbing the natural environment of the park. But it's really exciting. The pond has been refurbished with a nice trail around it and some lighting, and a pedestrian plaza, a new play area for the children with a tree house and a swinging bridge. How cool is that? And a splash pad. The pool had gotten very old, was built back in the early 70s, so the splash pad will replace the pool. So I think people will find it a wonderful change.
Everyone knows Sunset Park, and I mean, it's kind of the central park of Clark County. Let's face it, there's a gazillion events that go on there all the time. And something that's interesting now is the park is going to offer bike and equipment rentals. That's kind of a unique way to maybe raise a little bit of cash as well as enhance everyone's park experience.
Yes, and there are a lot of trails in there. People don't often think of Sunset Park with some trails you can bike or walk, so that'll be a nice addition. You can rent equipment too for disc golf or tennis, different things, as well as reserve the ball fields or picnic areas.
Is that something, Commissioner, that you and your colleagues have been trying to generate revenue, or is this is it the revenue end of things, or is it, again, a park enhancement to improve the experience?
It's mostly a park enhancement to make it more usable to the folks that go in there, to be able to rent equipment. It's very helpful if you're not bringing it yourself. So.
Sure. And I know Horsemans Park is a place you're very excited about. We also taped a show out there last year, and the renovations are pretty much done, or they are done out there now?
Yes, they're done. They've actually put new footing or soil in the two main arenas there, which is much safer and better for the horses, for their hooves and their legs. So that's a nice addition, and we're really excited to have new signage and a statue at the entrance. So it's all been funded through Southern Nevada Public Lands Administration Act, and it's nice to have that enhancement and a trail, very nice trail around the park. So that's completed, and we've heard great reviews from people.
Tell me about the statue.
The statue, it took some time to find a statue within the budget and to kind of meet the desires of people that use Horseman's Park. But we found P&S Metal Supply that constructed the enhancements along the I-15, the horses and the bighorn sheep that you see along the I-15. It's the same art design with a horse, a man on a horse, and it's worth going to take a look at. We really are proud of it and glad it kind of ties in with the art along the I-15.
And that one is a little bit different, that it's not a pure county park, or maybe just kind of explain that how that's a different than, say, a Sunset Park or a Desert Breeze Park.
Well, it is part of the county parks and recreation, but it has a contracted administrator for the park. So they run it, they do all the scheduling, but it is maintained by the county. So it's a nice partnership.
Sure. Right beside that is Dog Fancier's Park, which has been around since, well, I didn't realize this, since 1974. Tell me about the improvements taking place out there.
An improvement that's been asked for by a lot of people is to have a paved parking lot. So it was very dusty, and when there's rain, it was a mess. So it'll be paved with 159 plus parking spots and 11 handicap spaces. So it'll make it much more user-friendly for folks wanting to take their dogs.
Commissioner, I know the Whitney Community and the Whitney Center is also part of District G, and you've spent some time out there. I know you had your annual spring cleaning out there earlier in April. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a gorgeous day, and we had many residents from Whitney, as well as the Southeast Area Command from Metro. Several officers came, and firefighters from Fire Station 17. So we had about 50 people out for 3 hours, so that's a lot of man hours. We filled up 5 dumpsters and painted over graffiti. It was a great event.
You have one of the more established districts, let's just say that. And how important is it for the community and volunteerism to buy in and help you maintain these communities?
Well, I think it's critically important. It's one of the things that I'm trying to really focus on in our older neighborhoods, to try to revitalize it and keep a neighborhood identity, have pride in our neighborhoods. We've had so many issues with graffiti in some of these areas, graffiti and trash buildup even around some homes. Had a lot of complaints about it, so that's something that we're really trying to work on with some of the neighborhood cleanups. We want to do this one actually twice a year and let everybody in the community know, and even have some food available. American Graffiti, who contracts with the county in a graffiti abatement, has offered to provide some food, and so we're going to try to do this at least twice a year and get the whole community involved.
And I know there's a Whitney Community Gardens. The director of Project Angel Faces has started there. What's that all about?
Yes, that's right by the community center, and she's established this community garden, and they want volunteers from the community to come in and help. It's all very organic, and people will learn how to grow their own food through the community garden, and then it'll be donated to social services that provide food to children and senior citizens. So it's a great project. We were trying to link up projects that can help revitalize neighborhoods, and we also had Rebuilding Together, a nonprofit group, come in that I am so impressed with. They offer aid to low-income homeowners with critical repairs and energy-efficient projects, and they do a marvelous job. Their motto is something like home to home, home by home, block by block, revitalizing neighborhoods, and it fit right in with what we wanted to do in Whitney. So we made that available, and hopefully the neighborhood will learn about that and apply to be projects that they can be worked on.
How will the county be involved with that program?
Well, a partnership to bring them in and make it known to the neighborhoods. And I have a real commitment to help that nonprofit keep going and make sure that they're sustainable for a long time.
All right, all right.